It's the police in Norway, they have this term for like they have this term for people like, I forgot.
Thank you.
You know what the police call like really annoying women in cars? Yelly bitch.
What? What does that mean?
It's like screaming girl.
Yelling.
Well,
Yelling bitch.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they call it yelly bitch.
Yelly bitch.
Jellyfish.
But they have a term for like these kind of people. They call them sad destinies.
Oh.
And
wow.
It's kind of true. Like you know, part of the issue too with drugs is there's a point when you begin taking them that you're actually, there's a better version of you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another point that I was struggling to sort of make, because people's like, I didn't find a good way of articulating it at the meeting, but there's a point, like, you know, like when you have a glass of wine and
It takes the edge off. That's the expression, right?
Yeah, well, it takes the edge off, but you know, like for example, if you have a glass of wine, you'll play better at computer games and stuff like that. But it's a slippery slope, you know. Suddenly you need that glass of wine all the time.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it has no effect. So then you go,
you need more.
Take 2 glasses of wine and stuff like that. And there's a sort of like this, you know, it's a sort of tipping slope, which I think, you know, sort of sends people in a wrong direction. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what I've lost my train of thought, but it doesn't matter what the actual substance is that people use. There's never a happy ending to it. And
I mean, anything you do too much.
Yeah, and I just hate the idea of needing medication for something. Like, it's like, it seems that we're in a medicalized world. Like, you're on ADHD, you got to have all these amphetamines shoved down your throat. You're on bipolar lithium, you're on this problem, you got to, and it's just like, the only way for you to function is to have this. Okay, well, this is one thing that maybe is used in, but I think I just hate those ideas. I think the more we can get away from all that.
But you know, also, like, one thing that I've noticed, like ADHD, have like anxiety, severe anxiety, and bipolar disorders. I mean, that's too severe. But you know, I never heard about these things like in India.
Yeah, we just used to call them annoying in Australia.
I mean,
It's like,
but honestly, like,
oh, it turns out he's not annoying. He's got a disorder. He was really annoying, that kid.
but I honestly believe that in a lot of cases, it's like blown out of proportion.
I think it's difficult to say something so
Yeah,
simple.
but-
And I have to say that because I'm going to be a psychologist.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's like for you guys, because you guys study this, but
No, I can talk like one of the problems with like ADHD is it's there's a lot of problems with it. It's
what's the because now you guys have a lot of knowledge about this. So like, what's the sign that somebody might have ADHD?
They're really annoying. They're assholes.
Like okay,
It's
you're an
basically
asshole. So, but I don't know if you have ADHD. But
I'm
like,
not
what
really
do you?
annoying. Like, actually, one of the things that I used to like, you got the criteria that people use, like they're inattentive and impulsive and stuff like this. But like the biggest detriment, if you have a child with ADHD, they're super annoying. They're in your face all the time, like they're bouncing off the walls, and they're an asshole. They're going to have 0 friends. Like, there's some predictive things about them that's really crushing. Actually, their sociability is like 0. Like, and the reason for this is quite simple. Like, people will forgive somebody that's inattentive or a little impulsive.
Yeah.
They won't forgive somebody that stomps all over their feelings and hurts them. And this is the problem with ADHD. Like they're literally running over people. Like, with their,
But do they have any control over this? Because
no. That's what,
so, like, for example, if somebody is being an asshole, it has, like, they have ADHD and they're being an asshole.
Well, you can think about it like there's a disconnect between the frontal parts of your brain, which is like your reasoning center, and your emotional center. There's like a to use Russell Barkley's term, a meat cleaver sort of in between the two. So what you think is not what you do. So, for example, like if you're a normal person and your boss says you're an idiot, you blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
a normal person can use their reasoning to calm themselves. They can self-soothe. They can, tell themselves, don't respond.
Yeah.
He's just a moron. Keep your mouth shut, blah, blah, blah. The ADHD person is diving across the desk, punching him in the face. Like there's no ability to inhibit their actions, and that's the problem. And what Ritalin or what the synthetic amphetamines does is it in effect builds in a pause into that, so it allows them to think before they should act, in essence. I'm simplifying a lot, but that's basically what's going on.
Because that's how you would explain a person who doesn't know
But
anything.
the biggest way to recognize if you're dealing with a child with ADHD is they bounce off the walls. It's like having a ping pong ball flying around. They're fucking irritating. I've been around a million of them. Like if you go into any climbing gym, the guy's swinging off the rafters, going woo, like watch me, and like there's ADHD. I taught rock climbing for years. I actually taught the Prime Minister in Norway, and actually the head of NATO. I taught in rock climbing, and I got to tell you, like if you go into that center, any guy that's swinging upside down, jumping from the third bolt, like to show you, look how far I fell. It's like ADHD, and they're all the instructors there. So good luck.
But like it's also deeply troubling also when it comes to their sociability, right? Like I had this classmate when during primary school, and he was exactly what you just described, like bouncing off the walls, hitting people, like very difficult to like, even though the parents were kind of encouraging, hey, maybe hang out. Maybe you should be. Maybe you should talk with him. And
then what did he do?
No, but like
nothing good comes out of that story.
No, but like you even don't want to do it even more, right?
Yeah.
But like one situation that really stuck with me was this one day where he. Like it was the door was ringing, and I opened it, and apparently he's been bicycling on a bike like all over the city, and we have a lot of hills in my town, and he's been going all the way to my neighborhood and asked if I want to play, and I said no, and then I just went. No, but like of course, like now I feel really really bad, right? When I'm thinking about it, but I just remember like this. I don't want to be associated with this person, like he's just so annoying. And then I looked up and then I saw like okay, like then he just like went off to the next house. So like
he'd been doing that.
Yes, like
with everybody he knew.
Yeah, or he knew of, like he didn't have any friends.
Yeah,
that's also sad.
One of the
it's really sad.
It's
like,
brutal. And,
wow.
And
really
in Norway, it's even worse than that, because in Norway, nobody will ever tell you you've screwed up socially, ever. What they just will do is just never be around. So they kind of... Norway is the worst at bullying because it does it through ostracization. Like you'll never confront. Like in Australia, like if I got a problem with you, I'd be like, "What you said to my girlfriend last night was fucked up, man." And it's like, "What do you mean, bullshit?" And I punch you in the face and like, "Right now, let's out of the road. Let's have a beer and forget about it."
Yeah,
like you get it over with. In Norway, it's just like nobody's around. Like it's just there's no discussion.
So they just ghost you,
they just ghost you,
and then even a sane person, like if you ghost them, he might get into like overthinking, like it's something like, am I fucked up? Is there something wrong with me?
Well, that's what's great about being Australian is I just don't give a fuck. But it is a serious problem, right? Like, but ADHD people, like the prediction is I can tell you straight now, they're not going to have any friends.
But like,
zero.
This is like, because just like I said, that I didn't hear about people having these things as a kid in India because probably there's like lack of seriousness about these things. Like people don't have enough knowledge.
It's not that so much as that you can think about it as sort of a refinement issue, but you are correct in many aspects. There's a lot of noise in the data when it comes to ADHD. So, for example, like if I have a child presenting with ADHD, the first thing I'm going to be looking at is diet, sleep, food, nutrition, exercise.
Yeah.
So and it's not to say that ADHD has anything to do with those. I'm just going to want to rule all that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna want to make sure they got no gluten and milk intolerances. I'm gonna want to make sure they have shit tons of vitamin D. I'm gonna make sure that they get a lot of sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for example, if you want to be schizophrenic, don't sleep for 3 days. You'll start to hallucinate and start hearing voices, and you'll start going out of your mind. Like if I don't sleep for a night, I'm almost like my brain just shuts down. Like I'm in serious problems.
Yeah.
So it's like you can induce almost all psychological symptoms through certain things. And for me, I think, like, especially given the diets, we have to rule all these things out before we can get down to like, okay, your son seriously has a problem or your daughter has a serious problem and it's going to affect the rest of their life. And the problem with this is medicine doesn't solve these issues. Medicine is like, it's like a crutch, but it doesn't mean that you can suddenly walk fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a magic pill that you take and it's boom, it's gone. It's not gonna happen.
It's not. Yeah. And so one of the issues is, like, for example, there was no ADHD in Australia when when I was growing up. There was they didn't even think dyslexia was real. Yeah, like it was just like maybe it's sugar or it's just the TV. Watching too much TV that causes.
I mean, in India, it was still recently.
This kid is like really fucking annoying. Something else is going on there. They didn't think that was like, you got to discipline. Beat him.
Yeah, but we had like the exactly same problem with dyslexia until like this movie came out. I think in like 2006 or 7. Where the story, like, it got really popular and became like a very emotional movie for people because
the movie or
no, like, so in the movie they're showing like this kid, and so usually this is what happens if like a kid says, oh, I'm not good at like he's not performing well at studies, right?
Can I have some of your wife's pig fat?
You can have some bacon. Yes, that's it.
I just love the reaction you gave me there. It was just like, I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
That's kind of rude.
How is that rude?
He held himself back from punching you.
No, he means well.
Is this not pork?
I know. I mean, it is. But, yeah.
Okay, we're going to erase that from the table.
No, but like, especially when it comes to like movies or books, like they can really have this profound effect on the population, right? Like raising one issue, if it's.
I mean, so the story was about this kid who's actually dyslexic, and it's so good because like they show how the world looks like from his perspective. Okay. So like he's sitting in a class, like, like looking at the board where like teacher is writing something, but like in his head, like the letters are just like bouncing off somewhere, or like he's not able to read because for him when he opens like a book, he's just not able to concentrate. Like for him it looks like something like jumbled up, like he cannot make sense out of it. But is
there, like, you guys you don't use letters, do you? You use jumbled up things?
No, we use just like there's like weird as signs.
Yeah, so maybe he was
and
just
then like imprints.
It's like, how do you know he's dyslexic? It's all sticks.
But
no, it's just Hindi.
I mean, we all study in English mostly, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry for that.
I'm just, imparting knowledge to you. I get it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Don't look at me like that. I ate your wife's pig fat.
Yeah, but
it was very tasty. Have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried bacon.
It's delicious.
But when I'm thinking like about nutrition and how it has an impact on your well-being, like I notice it myself. Like if I one weekend when I like to go a little bit off, eat ice cream and pizza and so on, like I feel awful afterwards. But like if I'm basing my diet on processed food, like it's, of course I will be more susceptible to negative thoughts or whatever it might be, right? Like it's so like that's also like one of the ideas, like is the rise of mental illness is it because of the diet that we have, or like could that have an impact? Like, I don't know.
I mean, definitely it has some contributing factors to mental health.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, if you're eating a lot of processed food, of course, even mentally you don't feel good, and like you say, you even feel it in such a small amount of time. Like, you know, just over like if 2-3 days you're eating something else, like you won't feel as good as about yourself. So
Then I'm also thinking like we've been experimenting, particularly Andy been doing it, this carnivore diet. Like I've been managing like 1 week when I only eat it and cut out all the carbohydrates. Like it's
keto diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, ketogenic.
Yeah.
Keto is the cool way of saying
Yeah,
ketogenic.
I know.
But like,
I'm cool.
feel amazing. But like, feel amazing after doing it. Like it's like have a lot more. Like,
But then he just has to eat a Mars bar.
but like the fog and like the brain fog is more or less just gone. Like I feel stronger. I want to exercise more. Like I want to do all these things. So
I mean, because basically you're having just protein, mostly.
You lose a lot of fat too. Like,
Yeah,
a
fats
lot of
and proteins. Yeah.
Water first. Mostly you just pee for like 4 days, and then
the weird thing is like the poop is gone. Like,
do tell.
Yeah, but seriously, like you don't poop if you're on a diet.
He just keeps it in.
Yes.
Really?
No, but like actually, like when I was doing it, I think I did it for 2 weeks at the longest.
Yeah, I haven't shit for a month. But my mind is so
But
clear.
I know that you've been like doing that for a long time, because
6 months actually, on and off. But I kind of like I say carnivore-esque. I don't think everybody needs to do carnivore, but I think it's amazing for understanding your own physiology, like for knowing exactly how much food you need to survive. Like we all so used to eating till we're full that it's kind of weird to like how much does it really take? Like,
like
you
the
read all
bare
this thing-
minimum.
Yeah, like for example, you read all these weird stats. You know, like 1 M&M, like to burn that off, you need to run like 500 times around a football field.